What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash. In today's video we're gonna be talking about finally the arrival of B2 Kaido in the global version. So this legend is amazing, and he's also gonna be releasing at the same time as B3 Zoro, and I'm also gonna be talking about that unit too because he's quite good also, well, really good also in PvP. But I wanted to talk about Kaido first because he's just so good in PvP. Like, in my opinion, he's the best legend in PvP. Right now, like at the moment where he releases, as we still have the slasher meta and stuff like that, maybe he, like Roger, is also quite up there. Like, probably Roger is the best legend in PvP right now because we have the slasher meta and everything. But this unit is the first unit of the quick meta, and then we are from now on we are only gonna be having to pull on a lot of quick units and stuff like that. Well, there's the B2 NL, which is also really interesting for side teams, but apart from that, yeah, the quick meta is gonna be starting, and this is the first unit that we got. So this unit is actually really amazing, as I explained, and not only for a quick team. Like, he is actually I'm gonna be explaining his abilities, but he is actually self-sufficient. So it's really amazing what he can do. Now, if you're asking yourself if you should be pulling for this Kaido or not, if you really care about PvP, I would really suggest pulling for Kaido because he's a must-have unit. Even if you don't want to build, for example, a quick team, like, he's just so good. Like, in future teams, you can put him in any team, and mostly, and at least in the bench, and he's just so good. Now, this banner is actually gonna be arriving, I think, right after the maintenance. So depending on where you are, on the 27th or something like that. But yeah, so it's gonna be arriving in like 2 3 days, and so we are already here. And yeah, if you have the gems, I would really suggest pulling for Kaido and stuff like that, and then saving for Ace versus Akainu if you are free to play, for example. But yeah, let's talk about the PvP abilities of this guy. Like, in a normal game, he's really good too. Also, it's really useful because it's a quick base legend, and so right now in global, not in the future, but it's kind of hard to beat the quick garbage challenges and stuff like that. So this guy will be really useful, but in the future we're gonna have a lot of very good units in PvE to clear like the quick missions and stuff like that. But yeah, so here we have the first thing. We have the Power Rumble ability. I'm gonna be talking about the resistance, but yeah, so his passive is basically at level 5. For the first 40 seconds of the battle, he will apply to himself level 10 speed and level 10 attack up to himself. Now, that is just so amazing. Like, that by that alone is already really good because it means that you can put him in any team, and even if he's not buff in terms of boosted in terms of speed or something like that, he will give himself the speed that you need. So that's actually really useful. And the attack up, when you read the special, you're gonna understand why this is also really nice. But yeah, so in the passive, he will also apply level 5 HP up to quick, which if you put him in any team, he will be giving himself HP up, so that's another thing that you have, and level 3 defense up for quick. So as you can see, this unit gives himself all 4 basic stats, and in a really good number. And then he, like, the HP and defense, which is like the two the main ones, are actually buffing quick, so that's why he's so good in a quick meta, obviously. Yeah, the quick team without Kaido, I would say it's not the same, but yeah. So really amazing passive. This passive is just so broken, and it allows him to be one of the best legends in PvP, to be honest, because he has the special. It's also really amazing. So he will apply level 3 defense down to all enemies in a large range. That is a radial range, and the large radial range for debuffs is a little bit smaller than the range of large radial range for damage, but it's still targeting a lot of units. So it's not like Odin that it's easy to miss some of the units. With Kaido, you're not guaranteed, but it's really easy to hit almost all the units in the enemy field. But yeah, so the defense zone is only for 5 seconds, but it's just useful in general for the special. But I mean, yeah, in some situation you can make use of that defense zone. with a special of another unit. But yeah, so he will deal 2 times attack to all enemies in a large radial range. So that is massive. That's a really really good range. And as I was saying, it's kind of easy to target most of the enemy units, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, he's really really good. And then, well, the paralysis and the special, it's kind of whatever, but it can be useful actually. Like 50% chance to paralysis all enemies. Yeah, it's good. Like, okay, they won't be dealing that many normal attacks, but yeah, it's not that essential. So yeah, he is basically, as I was saying, gonna be used in quick teams, but also in kind of hybrid teams. Like for example, in a Psy and quick team, something like that. It's gonna be really good. You can even use him inside the slasher team, and it's kind of crazy if you think about it. But just think about it. If you put Kaido as the fifth unit in the slasher team, he's the unit that gets the highest stats of everything. Like, he's the unit with the highest defense, he's the unit with the highest speed, he's the unit with the highest HP, and well, kind of not the unit that has the highest attack, but kind of like really really high attack boost. So yeah, but that is also because Dofi buffs him. But yeah, so it's gonna be really interesting to see how that slasher team with Kaido works, but it's kind of crazy to me that a non-slasher unit can be a meta inside the slasher team, so it's kind of crazy. And I do really think that the slasher team with in some capacity using Kaido, even if it's in the bench or it's in the main team, it's gonna be the meta for until NL comes, when the slashers are finally out of the picture, and then we are gonna start to see the Psy meta and the quick meta, and then for the next months to come, the quick meta is only get better and better and better, while the Psy meta is gonna kind of stay where it is, but it's still really good. So yeah, now let's talk about the Legend Zoro. So this is actually Legend Zoro's artwork, and it's actually really really nice artwork. The same goes for Kaido. Both of these artworks and special animations are really really cool. But yeah, let's talk about the PvP abilities. This guy is also really really nice in Power Rumble, but it's a little bit more difficult to make use of him. But if you can make use of him, he's just so broken too. Like, he's in theory, by the way, I forgot to mention the passives of Kaido. As you can see, the passives, well, the resistance of Zoro is 100% to resist silence and 30% damage reduction to quick damage. So that means that any quick damage, even if it's fixed, he's gonna be reducing that damage, and that cannot be avoided in any situation. Then Kaido had the same resistance, also resisting special bind, but for strength damage. So yeah, like most of the legends from now on are gonna start to have these kinds of resistances against the opposite color. So those two are the first unit that have that, but in the future most of them are gonna be having these kind of resistances. But yeah, so he looks like a Dex center unit, and you might think, okay, that's not so good, because Dex, yes, Dex can be really good, but right now it's not the best. But the thing is that you can use him in anything, because the main idea of this guy is to be in the 8th spot of the bench, like, or 7th spot. If you can manage to put a legend on the bench in the 8th spot and stuff like that, and you can kind of plan for him to enter at the late game, then it's pretty much GG if he activates, because you will see what he does. So, well, yeah, the passive will activate special city up level 3 to himself, which is nice. Also attack up to himself, which is really nice, because you will see what he does. And also attack up level 5 to Dex, so that means himself, and that's also really nice. And some speed, so at least he buffs himself. So basically for me, that passive is just saying, like, yes, if he enters late from the bench, he will have some speed, he will have some special city up, and he will have some attack up, which is exactly what you want for a unit that enters late from the bench and has a special like this unit has. And we're gonna be talking about that special now. Like, normally you don't have to worry a lot about Zoro's special CT, because a lot of the times he's gonna come max in from the bench if you're lucky, with like, or at least a little bit charged, because when a unit dies and the unit is replaced by a unit from the bench gets the number of seconds that the unit that died had charge of their own special. But yeah, so even if it's not max, he has a little bit of special CT up to compensate that, so that's really really good. And he will actually deal, well, that's every all the time. He will deal one time attacking damage to all enemies in a large forward range. So yeah, it's a kind of really good range, but it's not guaranteed to all enemies. But here it comes the really cool stuff, which is when the time is under 50 seconds, he will deal 2 times attacking damage to all enemies guaranteed, that cannot miss. And then if the time is under 30 seconds, he will deal an additional 2 times. So if you add all this up, it's gonna be a 5 times attack guaranteed to all enemies. Well, 4 times attack guaranteed to all enemies and 1 times attack guaranteed to all enemies in a large forward range. So completely amazing unit if you can use it correctly. Now, what teams is he gonna be able to be used in? I would say, for example, rainbow teams. I would mainly say also Dex teams, some kind of early quick team that has the potential of having a legend in the bench, stuff like that. It's gonna be really good. Now, in case of the Dex team, for example, this is the final unit that you needed to complete the Dex team. Well, actually, there's some free-to-play units that work really well. For example, Treasure Map Komurasaki, but there's kind of a drama going on right now with Treasure Map Komurasaki because like Treasure Map Komurasaki was out when these units released, but as they um, advance the release of these two legends, and we are not gonna have that unit now. And then there's another Dex free-to-play unit that you can use in a Dex team, which is the Kiori, but I'm not sure when it's releasing, but it should be also in a month or something like that. But yeah, like you can use, for example, Stampede Frankie or units like that if you want. So I think the Dex team with this Zoro is already complete, so it's gonna be a really strong team. Also, mainly now that we still don't have like the full quick meta and side meta and stuff like that, Dex teams are gonna be a really powerful tool, and I'm pretty sure they can beat the slashers. I mean, they can, but we'll have to see because now I'm not that sure. But anyway, the slashers, I would say in a month they are over, but maybe in 2 months because we don't know when NL is dropping now that Kaido was advanced a little bit, because Kaido should have come at the end of next month, but and then NL like 3 weeks later. So now I'm not sure if after 3 weeks we're gonna have the NL or we are gonna have to wait a month and 3 weeks, but not sure about that. So we're gonna have to see. And yeah, so that's it for the showcase of these two units. Now talking about if you should pull on this banner or not, I think, I mean, as a unit, Kaido is the unit that you should be pulling for in terms of PvP. If you wanna be able to build like the strongest teams in PvP, you definitely need this Kaido. So yeah, I would suggest pulling on that. But if you are free to play and stuff like that, and you don't think you're gonna be able to fully complete the quick team, then probably I would suggest. I mean, Kaido's still such a great unit that probably you should still pull for him. But I would suggest doing maybe not going full in on this banner. Like maybe if you can do and you feel like you're gonna have enough gems to pull where you wanna pull, I would suggest to do at least like 3 multis, and with a little bit of luck, the fourth one is gonna be a free multi. So 4 multis, and if you're lucky, you can get Kaido. If not, it's not that many gems, like 130. But it was worth the try because Kaido is such an amazing unit. And yeah, like you just have to make sure, for example, if you want to pull for NL, I would say to have at least like 800 gems, stuff like that. I know it can be kind of hard, but if you can manage to do that, then yeah, if you have a little bit of extra gems, then I would suggest pulling for Kaido. If you want to build a quick team, definitely you need this Kaido. And well, I would say this unit is like the #1 legend in PvP. So if you want to be like really focused on PvP, probably you need this Kaido. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's your decision. And probably I'm gonna be doing a video once I know the info of the Sugo Fest, but right now we are not so sure because the banner is gonna probably come after the main dance, so we cannot um, go to the future banner and see it. So we cannot time travel to see the info. So it's kind of weird. So I don't know the structure of the Sugo Fest or anything. I just know what the unit does and how good it is. So I suggest pulling on it, but I don't know if the banner is good or not. And I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to do a video talking about the structure of the Sugo Fest before the banner actually drops. So maybe after this video, what you see is just straight up the video of my pulls. So yeah, we're gonna have to see if there's the information of this banner. I will definitely make a video talking about it because it's that great of a unit that it deserves to to be talked to the fullest of the extent. But yeah, without further ado, let's let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this unit and what do you think of what they did, like that they put Kaido a month earlier and stuff like that. And also let me know in the comment section if you already decided that you want to pull for this unit or you want to wait for, I don't know, like the side team or the in team and stuff like that, which are both really good decisions. But the quick team is gonna be the number one in the future. But right now, this first month maybe not that much. We're gonna still probably have some variation of the slashers, probably with Kaido. But yeah, so uh, let me know in the comment section down below if you're gonna be pulling on this banner. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.